All right, everyone, we are back, and it must be Thursday because I am here and you are here, and we are one more day closer to the weekend. I'm excited, and we are well on the way for our road to HauntCon with more exciting stuff tonight. I cannot wait. This point in time, I would normally once again bring on Tayan, but Tayan is not here. Tayan is moving. Um, So yeah, she's kind of busy wrapped up with that. So hopefully she wraps that up quickly and she comes back soon because I'm tired of talking to this guy wherever he's at. Doug, where you at? Maybe. There he is.
How's it going?
And you're unmuted. I'm proud of you. You're getting good at this.
I think practice makes perfect.
It sure does. It sure
So
does.
let me go ahead and adjust my computer a little bit. So how's it going?
Oh, it's going. I'm kind of confused though, because it's like warm. It's like spring weather
I know.
here. Like, I'm gonna have to go cut my grass again. I don't like, I thought I was done with that, but,
Yeah, I hear you. It's really nice here in Michigan too.
yeah.
Considering.
Yeah, well, I almost kinda miss it, like, I just kinda want it to get there 'cause I we all know us folk up north all know what's coming, right? We all
Hmm.
know that
We
snow's
do.
coming and it's coming hard, and it's just kinda like, "Just happen already. Just, let's just
Just
get
get
it
it
done,
over
let's
with.
get it over with,"
Yep.
and then, you know come February, it's all gonna be gone anyways. We don't have winters like we used to.
I don't know. I actually think it's kind of the opposite. I think we still have the winters. We don't have the 78 blizzards. I agree with you, but we still have the snow. But I think everything's messed up. Nothing's going to start till January now, and then all of us are sitting around in March wondering if we're going to have a second, blizzard coming. So
But
for
see,
us,
I remember being a kid, come Halloween time, there'd be snow on the ground. Sometimes,
Mhm.
not all the time, but there would be every now and again. And then my birthday's in March, and I remember very vividly having like snowstorms and 3 feet of snow on the ground in March.
Yeah,
And I don't know, just doesn't happen anymore. I don't know
it
why I'm
doesn't.
complaining about it. It's like it's not a bad thing, I guess.
No.
But it is what it is. I know you are relentlessly just plugging away at HauntCon because we are almost there.
We So I gave the team a challenge and a deadline, which you haven't heard those words come from me in the same sentence before. But
No.
deadlines. And I said, listen, I said, Friday the 15th, I want everything done. I want to know who our classes are. I want to know who our events are. Well, we got them done a day early. So as of right now, while I'm sitting here with you, I know who all of the speakers are, except for one that's still kind of going back and forth a little on the um, as far as us negotiating. We know all of the events. We know where all the events are going to happen. We know most of the entertainment. I mean, we are looking so good that when we're going to start rolling out all these announcements now, it's all about packing the house. And we are going to set a limit on the amount of VIP tickets because we know that these VIP tickets are so good, we are going to oversell. So we have to set a limit.
Well, and on top of all of that, I mean, you're just really tip of the iceberg with what's actually happening. There's Ultimate Haunt Tour.
Mhm.
Um, we have the indie track, which we got a great guest on tonight, which we're gonna be talking about some more indie films that we're gonna be showing and kind of blending the two industries together. Um, it's the parties, the classes, the education. Education's always free with Fear Expo and HauntCon, of course. What's not free is the Ultimate Haunt Tour, and that will sell out. So you better start buying your tickets now because if you guys were on the haunt tour in Kentucky, you would know that there was bands of vehicles following us because we were still selling tickets, but we ran out of room. But there was just so many people that wanted to come that we just didn't have the heart to tell them no.
We
Uh,
had people showing up. We had people showing up at the haunts wanting to buy tickets at the haunts
yeah,
because we already sold all the road tickets, drive tickets, and the bus. All four buses were full.
yeah,
So yeah, don't wait. Don't wait. Get
and
them early.
with the VIP stuff, for those of you that were at Fear Expo, you know that we oversold our capacity with VIP because there were
Mhm.
so many people that wanted VIP, and it causes us a few hiccups here and there. So hence the limited amount of tickets with the VIP because it's not VIP if everybody is VIP. I mean,
Right.
that's just the way it is. We're not trying to shut the door on anybody. That's just how that works. Everybody knows that. So if you want to get that full VIP experience, get on that now. And also, we have a movie package that is
Yes.
an add-on to all of the tickets that we sell. So it doesn't matter what level of ticket that you buy, we have an add-on movie package that gets you access into all of these screenings of these great indie movies. We're going to be talking about. We talked about I Possessed with Carl and Tammy last week, which was a great interview. Two amazing people. I can't wait to meet them. We're going to be talking to Michael tonight about his movie, Haunting in Collinwood. Boom, boom, boom. I have questions about this one, believe it
It
or
is
not.
good, man. It is good.
Um,
I haven't seen the movie, but I saw the trailer and I'm excited. I can't wait to see the movie.
So, in honor of our track to indie films, or the track you could take with the indie films at Hong Kong, and blending our two industries together, tonight we are giving away a. Now, listen
Yes.
carefully to what we're doing here. We are giving away a 2-pack movie pass. Okay, so this does not get you anywhere else but the movies, which means you have to get yourself either a general admission ticket or a VIP ticket, book yourself a room, get down to Florida, and we will automatically, if you win tonight, we will automatically add on you and a guest, we will add on the movie pack. So you can go and see these screenings, you can meet the masterminds behind these films. Um, it's gonna be a good time. It's worth it. I don't know how much are you selling the movie packs for?
So the movie packs are going to be you get to watch all four movies, or and you can watch the we're going to play them twice. So later on that night, if you miss one, you can watch it again, or if you just want to see it again, you can watch it again. So all four movies plus the Q&A with each of the directors or filmmakers or whoever happens to be there for that film is $30. So $30, but you have to have a general admission ticket or a VIP ticket to add the movie pass on. You cannot just buy the movie pass come in. You have to have a GA ticket um, or a VIP ticket.
Right. So tonight, $60 value, and we're going to do that with hashtag indie films, indie movies. Sorry. Yes. Indie movie. Sorry. I screwed that up. That was Chris literally called me 2 minutes before and he's like, what are we gonna do the hashtag? And I said indie movie. And I said indie
Love it.
films instead. So we're gonna do hashtag indie movie. So get your hashtags in at the end of the show tonight. Probably gonna have a quick show tonight. So
Yeah.
at the end of the show tonight, we're gonna do our giveaway for your movie pack, and if we'll plug it throughout the night. And I don't know if nobody hashtags, I'll take them, and I'll go see all the movies twice, and I'll rub it in all your faces about how awesome all these movies were. I'm going anyways, aren't I?
Yeah, we're have Chris show the new website if he gets a chance before we have Michael come out. We have the new website. I don't know if Chris is rep by, but it's indiehorrorshow.com. And once you go there, that's a website where we're promoted the indie side of this. You actually can see all four movies that we're premiering now, or not. Excuse me. We are private showing. We are not premiering. We are private showing these movies. I have to get the verbiage correct. This is a whole new side of the world for me. And so it is a private showing. It is not a premiere. It is not, anything else. It's not a film festival. This is a private showing of these movies. And Michael's the one who corrected me one day on a meeting. And so Mike will be out here and give us all of that verbiage and all the cool things to know about
Yeah, I
the
do
indie stuff.
believe Michael's film has already premiered or at least screened. I don't know exactly, but I
Most of them's
believe
been
that it
screened. Yeah, most of them has
yeah,
been screened
and,
because they do a lot of screens. Right there's the website, and look at those 4 movies.
yeah, and from
I've
what I
seen.
read, his movie actually kind of they received a lot of really, really good reviews,
Mhm.
from a lot of people, so, this is exciting. Yeah, so tonight, I don't know, Chris, if you can kinda highlight the thing. So tonight, Michael's movie, A Haunting in Collinwood, or Collin was it not Collinwood? What is it?
No, I think there it goes. Hunting
Cottonwood.
of Cottonwood.
Collinwood, so where I live, Collinwood is, like, the next town over.
Oh, well, why don't we get Michael out here to talk about his movie, and then we'll watch the trailer a little bit later.
Yeah, sure, if that's what you wanna do, we can do that, or do you wanna show the website for a little bit?
It's
Wait,
oh, there's
there
Michael.
he is. Oh, we're doing Michael. What's going on, Michael?
How's it going, guys?
Yeah,
You okay?
We're good.
yeah,
How you
doing
doing?
good.
Doing great, doing great. Doug, I'm glad you corrected yourself with the premiere. It's a soft screening. Unfortunately, distribution companies don't like the word premiere. They like to hold that that grace in the industry. Yeah, we have a soft screening. I just had a very, very successful soft screening where we had like 480 people turn up with like 80 people wanting tickets outside. Similar story to your Kentucky ghost tour. It was received very, very well in the little town that we filmed it in.
That is really
Now,
cool.
speaking of little town that you filmed in, I wanna get this out of the way because I was reading about this and I kinda heard some things, okay? You, shot in Florida,
Mhm.
and you went to the Higgins house, correct?
Yes, yes. That's a
Yeah,
funny
so a
story
lot
how
of
that.
this
Sorry.
right, so a lot of the film was, filmed and kinda based around the Higgins house as it almost took on, like, its own character in the
It
film,
did.
but, it on its own, it kinda has its own backstory and hauntings and stuff like that, and I heard that through the production of your film, there were some weird happenings that were going on, with you and the crew and everything else. You wanna elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, it's funny how the Higgins house came to be. Um, there's a little town in Florida called Sanford. It's a historical downtown area, and I normally film my movies in a little town called Mount Dora, which is a quaint little town in central Florida. So I'm looking to bring up my crew from Miami, fabulous DP and sound guys, Anthony Donis and Luis Marin. These guys are my number one guys, and to bring them up from Miami, they need accommodation. So I'm calling all the bed and breakfast places in Sanford to do an Airbnb where I could put everybody up and lock the location to film. So I was looking for a particular property, and Googling the area, I found this fabulous bed and breakfast, and it just oozed character and history. So I called and I asked how many rooms, and she said, unfortunately, I don't do Airbnb anymore. I'm closed. And I said,
Oh,
oh, well, that's a pity because I love your building. I love the location. I've got this story. I'd love to film there. And she said, oh, I could be open to letting you film here
nice.
Perfect.
because her son works for National Geographic as an underwater um, um, DP, cinematographer, underwater, doing all sharks, etc. And she was excited to have us. So we went to the property. We had a look, had a chat to Lisa Hurst, and we walked through the door, and it was like walking back in time. The antiques, the furniture is it from 100 years ago?
Wow.
Couldn't believe my luck. And she gave me the property to film. She said, all you have to do is rent the rooms, and you won't be staying here, but you can have the house for your film set. And I couldn't believe my luck. So I put everybody else up in my house, camp beds, sleeping bags. but we had the house in Sanford locked. And you'll see it in the trailer, or you'll definitely see it in the trailer. Everything you see in the trailer is the house. And I swear, the things that were going on in that house, things were moving. We couldn't find things. It's truly one of the great haunts of Florida.
Now, our viewers and in our community and stuff, Doug and I actually talked about this last week. Doug and I personally, we're not like scary movie enthusiasts. We're not even like ghost hunters or like anything like that. But a lot of our community is. The majority of our community is. And they don't waste an opportunity to have some kind of connection to the paranormal. And from my understanding, from what I read, and I may have made a few phone calls, you guys had quite the paranormal experience while you were there. Can you give us some examples of things that were happening?
That is not related to the Higgins house.
Oh,
okay.
That is related to a previous movie I shot, an anthology of little stories called Midnight Montage, Book of Consequences. One segment is called Molly. And I visited the property recently because I'm interviewing Roger Perrin from the Conjuring House in Rhode Island. That's another story. And we were setting up for this interview, and strange things happened. And then when I hit record, a book flew off the shelf, hit my camera, that hit my nose, that put me in the emergency room. The blood was pouring profusely. And I thought it broke my nose, but it's bent out of shape here, but it's badly bruised. And we have it on film. So we are working on how to work this out. I've looked at the footage 10 times and I just can't work out what happened, but it's the most scariest thing ever. And I was in the Conjuring House. I was invited up to the actual house in Rhode Island a month ago with Johnny Alonso. He's one of the actors from America's Most Haunted, etc. And we were invited up there, and strange things happened with him, but I felt a calmness. There was no evil. I didn't feel anything evil at all. It was so calm. And yet, at the minute Roger Perrin approached me about doing a private fly-on-the-wall interview, all hell broke loose. And that happened in a bed and breakfast in Florida. And we have the footage that we're working on right now to release.
Wow.
And I'm thinking of releasing it for Doug's event.
Wow. That'd be cool.
There you go. I smell another hit indie movie coming on.
Yeah.
No movie, no hit, no movie, no nothing. Just, I'm not a believer. I'm a ghost repellent. You know, if you knew what my wife did for a living, she would attest to this, that ghosts don't exist. But let me tell you something. I am now a believer. I witnessed it. And I don't think anybody will be a believer until they witness it.
Yeah.
You know, you have to physically see it. And my uncle passed away a few years ago, and we were brothers. And I sat by his grave and said, right, now's your opportunity. Just prove something to me. Nah, nothing. And so I was like, it's BS. I'm now a believer. With what happened to me, I'm a believer.
Now, your movie, written and directed by
My
you.
movie.
The Haunting in Cottonwood. You're going to be doing a private screening at HauntCon.
Private showings.
Your
Private screening. Actually, I'm actually doing a private screening before it goes for worldwide distribution. I've got offers. I've got many offers, but I'm not going to sign until after the private screening at the HauntCon. So everybody at the HauntCon will be first to see it.
Nice.
Now, the general premise: young couple from California inherits a home in Florida, and I don't want to give too much away, but the home doesn't take too kindly to the situation, we'll say.
Well, he's a failed architect in a multi-million-dollar mansion in Los Angeles, and they are facing bankruptcy. And this lifeline comes through an ancestor that they've inherited this old orphanage. But not only do they inherit the home, they inherit the ghosts that come with it.
Nice.
Now, when you wrote this, what was the inspiration for all of this?
I'm a location writer. I could be driving anywhere in the country, and if I see something, it's like a switch in my brain. I pull over and I see a location and I work my script around what I see. Not many writers or script writers do that. I'm a bit weird to begin with, coming from the UK. Anyway, but I come from a historical town in Wales, and we're surrounded by mystical creatures and myth and King Arthur and castles and one thing and another, and my mind just goes ballistic when I see something of interest, and I write around what I see. So it's difficult to pinpoint anything in particular.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because I traveled around the world a couple of times, and it is different when you go to places like the UK or Italy or Germany and stuff like that. And it's actually kind of funny, because in America you're like, oh, my grandma lives in this old house, it's 100 years old. And then, like, you go to the UK. Yeah, so you know where I'm going with this already. You
know
go
exactly
to
where
the
you
UK and
are.
you go to Italy, and they're like, "Oh, really?" Because the bar we're in was built like 400 years ago. So, like, and that's not even old to you guys. So it's
Well, I'm a little homesick. So my wife retires in March, and we just bought a house in Mystic, Connecticut. Beautiful little historical seaport, and my local bar is the Daniel Packard from the 1700s. And the bar's in the basement. It's all stone, big Inglenook fireplace, roaring fire. Fabulous little town, and it just reminds me of home. Hence, New England.
But I mean, that still doesn't even hold a candle to old overseas.
It doesn't, but it's close. It's close. It's close.
It's so nonchalant over there about how old everything is. It's just like, yeah, that's old. That's just what it is.
Well,
we have like.
Let me give you an example. My cottage with a water wheel at the end, at the gable end, was 400 years old. It was positioned right behind Conway Castle, Conwy, a little cottage behind there called Ye Old Mill House. The wagon and cart used to come through my living room. The trapdoor would drop from the ceiling, the grain would go in, and the carriage would go to the castle to make the bread. So I know old.
Yeah, and it changes the creativity.
It does. But something, I've been over in the States now 20 years, and I've loved every minute of it. And I think there's some fabulous places here. You know, I'm having a weekend this week in St. Augustine, Florida, which is a beautiful little historical town. And my second favorite town is Savannah. You know, I love Savannah, Georgia, but New England is the closest thing I can possibly get to living back home.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, and it's interesting to have that kind of perspective though. And obviously, like you said, you could just kind of drive somewhere and you could see something and spark that creativity. And I think in America that kind of lacks a little bit because it lacks that kind of historical value that you get overseas where I mean everything is built on top of something over there. I mean the history is insane
Yeah.
and the stories behind that history is awesome. But
No, it's fabulous. It's fabulous, and it's history. Not going off our subject, the HauntCon, but history should never be eradicated, no, in no form at all. History is there to be learnt from, but that's another topic of mine. But yeah, I'm super stoked about being involved with Doug's show in Daytona Beach. I think that's going to
yeah,
be fabulous for the town. It's going to be fabulous for the education of independent film. And Orlando has a huge hub of independent film. As you know, Steve, Florida was a very popular place to film back in the day, and then everything moved to Georgia. Tax reasons, and us independent films are left here. Independent filmmakers are left here to pick up the pieces, and I think we're doing a good job. I've seen Carl Rimme's film, I Possessed. And let me tell you something. I am so proud of Carl, and the audience are going to be blown away by the quality when they see that movie at Doug's show.
yeah, we actually
It is.
talked about it just through the trailer. I mean, you could tell just it almost doesn't look like an independent film. I mean, it kind of looks like
It
a high
is.
budget film.
I'm so proud of him. I worked with Carl 6 or 7 years ago on another movie we did together in Miami. And I know Carl quite well. He's a funny guy, by the way. And I do believe Doug's going to put him up as a one-man comedian
Yeah,
show.
it sure is.
This guy makes a living making people laugh. And he's the funniest guy I've met. Honestly, he is funny. And he's gonna draw a great crowd at the event, the HauntCon. But yeah, Steve, it's a fabulous film. I just hope my film can hold up to his. I'm happy with what I have. I've made a few edits. I did a soft screening a couple of months ago, last month, sorry, and I made some changes and I've made it stronger and tighter, and I've just made these little jump scares a little tighter. So I think HauntCon audience, I think these guys are going to see the director's cut.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah, and I think too, it's one of these things, and Doug and I have talked about this often. Um, blending these two industries together just kind of makes sense because I know the haunt industry has a lot to learn from the film industry, and I think the film industry has a lot to learn from the haunt industry as well. And just putting these minds together in a room with alcohol and and food and
Spoken
just
of which,
yeah, and just a comfortable and fun atmosphere. Uh, I think this offers a lot of opportunity for everybody involved. I think this offers opportunities for haunted house actors to kind of maybe break into indie movies and stuff like that. I think it gives the opportunity for indie movies to learn practical effects and makeup and things that haunters do every single night during the haunt season. And just really turn this into an art form.
yeah,
It's
it's
just
going to
an
be a phenomenal
incredible idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's going to be a
exciting.
phenomenal networking opportunity for everybody, I think, across the
Yeah,
board.
absolutely. So, without further ado, I don't know if Chris has it ready or not, but you have a trailer for your film.
Yeah,
I
let's
do.
play that.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Chris. Chris, do you have it? Are you ready, Chris? There's no like schedule. We just kind of throw Chris on the spot and just be like, Chris, do this, and he always has to scramble to kind of get things done for us.
I had another dream. It was so real.
Welcome home, Mommy.
Well, this is it. The old Cottonwood house. What do you think?
It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
And I think that this move to Florida is gonna be amazing for you and the girls.
It's beautiful.
Yeah?
And everything you said it was gonna be.
Hey, don't touch anything.
Hey, what's that?
That's an old radio.
Oh, look at that. I like our new house.
But there's a house like us. It's not a lucky house. Some say it's haunted.
It feels like we're being warned.
I think this house is trying to tell us something.
I can't wait for February now. It's well, no, because like it kind of sucks for me because Doug makes me work 24/7 to make sure everything is going well. And,
24/7.
there's a lot of moving parts, and Doug and Chris are super involved with the bulk, the bigger picture of the show, and it's like up to me and a couple other people to make sure the little fine details, like get trash taken out and things like that are handled. So it's tough to like. I don't want to say enjoy ourselves because we do enjoy ourselves, but it's tough to just kind of like sit down. And now Doug's like, oh, by the way, we're gonna have this whole event where you just sit down and like watch movies. Like, that's really cool. I'm really really looking forward to all that. So when growing up, I think
Well-
like most of us, when I was a kid, I would watch like late night TBS at like midnight, and you'd get these like indie films that would come on, these B movies, right? You'd get the Bruce Campbell stuff, and even like Tales of the Crypt and things like that when we were younger, and they always had this like certain look and a certain feel to it. Indie movies have progressed so far since then, where you look at this trailer now, it's not filmed like an indie film. I mean, it's filmed like a big picture. I mean, it really is. How do you make that jump? How do you make that jump from, okay, you know, yeah, it's an indie film. We're doing it, with the money we're pulling out of our pockets and things like that. But how do you turn it into something with such like high quality production?
Budget. If you look at my some of my stuff 10 years ago, it was with a Canon D3, $5,000 budget, some small independent stuff like Midnight Montage 1, for instance. It's on Amazon Prime. If you look at that, you'll see it's extremely low budget. And then, it did reasonably well. We got a little bit of income from it. And then we put the money back into Midnight Montage 2, Book of Consequences. And again, on Prime, if you look at the 2, you'll see a huge improvement. And it's because you could hire the right people with the right cameras, the right lighting guys. It's all about hiring the right people. And then you jump from there to Crocodilus, which it's done over 48 million on Amazon Prime. It's a creature feature, like a creature from the Black Lagoon. Again, on Amazon Prime, it's doing well. It's another revenue coming in. Then I invested in the sequel to that called Mating Season, Crocodilus Mating Season. Again, the quality is going up. And that is a cross between Monty Python meets Ace Ventura. It is
I tell you what, if you
hilarious.
need a leading man for mating season, you go ahead and give me a call. I'll be there in a heartbeat.
So, it's and that's a movie I offered for Doug for a comedy night. It would be a hilarious movie to show after Carl or before Carl, whatever. Anyway, that's in the works still with Doug. So I'd love that to be seen because it is hilarious. And again, a huge distribution deal on the table for us regarding that. And then again, Midnight Montage, Book of Consequences. Investors were coming to me. They asked to invest, and again, like I say, I was able to bring up a professional film crew from Miami, and the quality it's all about budget. It's getting the funding together, but everybody has to start off somewhere, and I encourage everybody to pick their phone up, put it on DVD, and film something. It all starts somewhere, and regardless of the budget, if you're passionate, you'll progress. And trust me, I was in front of the camera in England. I was in front of the camera. Could never pay a mortgage, but I enjoyed acting, and I did a little bit over here. And then I started writing my own material, and then I started filming my own stuff. And I encourage everybody to do the same. And I think what Doug's putting together with these workshops is going to be very, very educational for all budding filmmakers. I think as soon as Carl Rimmy kind of called me and said, "Hey, I think we should get involved." I agreed 100%.
And and it's something that Carl and I kind of touched on a little bit. Going back to what like the indie films used to be, because I think that's kind of a day that's come and gone. But there's always been in art. There's always been this culture for things like indie films or like indie music, indie paintings, things like that. But now, with the advent of streaming services, we can kind of take the indie culture out of the basement per se and kind of put it in everybody's face. And you now see a lot of like, really cheesy, bad 80s horror movies getting traction. Um, you see, Sharknado was one of them, right? You get Sharknado that was this completely ridiculous, off the wall movie, and it blew up because people had access to it. How important
Exactly.
has this streaming service uh how important has it been for the indie film industry?
Well, myself personally, I went to a seminar 10 years ago in the Biltmore Hotel in Miami with Paul Brett. He's an English director, and very, very I was trying to sell him a script. Called Evil Intentions. And he asked me, he said, "What are you known for?" I said, "Well, not a lot, a little bit of acting here and there." He says, "Put half a dozen little movies under your name, get yourself an IMDb page, and people take it a little bit more serious." But prior to that meeting at the after party, he asked the audience how many people had been to the cinema, and maybe half put their hand up. This was 10 years ago. And he says, "How many people have streamed?" Nearly everybody put their hand up 10 years ago. He said, "Forget theatrical releases. Streaming is going to be the platform, and things are changing in the industry." 10 years ago. Just look at the last couple of years. It's given everybody an opportunity to air their content, whether you're a musician or a filmmaker or what. I'm not going to say it's our turn, because a lot of Hollywood actors now are dropping into indie, and it's going to kind of take that to another level, which we're going to be grasping at again. At this moment in time, we are independent, but I think when Hollywood wakes up and everybody goes independent, these guys over in LA, they have enough money to create their own production companies, write their own scripts, and it's going to be like a mini Hollywood in itself. And we are going to be grasping again. So we have to kind of stay strong together. And events like Doug's is going to help tremendously, bringing the industry of independent together.
Yeah, and
Now,
I think
I
was just going to say, I think the one thing that we look at that's different, because I hear a lot of people trying to understand what HauntCon is going to be. Now that we brought the indie side into it, is we're still holding true to the education side of this. Networking, education, those are the two staples to the show. And so when you come to the show, whether you're a director, whether you're a vendor, whether you're a haunt owner, I mean, you're going to leave with something. Either you're going to leave with a whole bunch of contacts, or you're going to leave with an amazing amount of education, or both. And I think we can grow from that. And then we start really becoming something where people come and think this is the premier spot to get educated, to have a great vacation, and on top of it, make some amazing connections.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. I love the educational part.
I just gotta convince one of these guys to come up to Cleveland and film. Cleveland they have tax breaks for movie industry now. We just did the Avenger stuff not too long ago. Just saying, and then I can be their leading man, and I could do the Mating Call 2. That's what I'll do. But yeah, the education. Go ahead.
I'd like to introduce a guy to you. His name is called Stanley Pomeninski. He was my director, writer on Crocodilus Mating Season 2. If you guys would like to have him on your show, he'd be great.
Oh, we're always looking for guests. I mean, I know a lot of the guests over the next couple of weeks are going to be vendors and instructors that are going to be at the show. But yeah, have them reach out to us. We're super excited.
I will have him reach out to you, Doug, and he can say everything you need to know about Crocodilus Mating Season.
Now,
how can you go wrong? How can you go wrong with when analogy like a cross between Monty Python and Ace Ventura? How can you possibly go wrong?
You can't. Now, at the show for the Q&A, you're also going to have one of your actors there. Am I correct?
The main lead actor from this from the Court of Cottonwood, Johnny Alonso. He's a Baltimore guy. Lives in Los Angeles. He's got a pretty impressive IMDb page. He's done a lot of work with the industry, and he's currently on The Crow at the minute, and he's going to come over and support the event. And obviously, he's the lead actor in my movie.
That's awesome. I mean, Steve, just to give you an idea, these people are coming here to give the education and to really promote the show. I mean, these are the kind of people who go to these fan base shows and, have a booth and sign autographs and stuff like that. But that's not what we're trying to create here. What we're trying to create is an industry where we can help each other out, network, and grow. So I love the fact that we have, someone as great as Johnny coming to the show as well.
And party.
He'd also be a great speaker. His experience in film. You guys can IMDb him. Look at his resume on IMDb. He'd be a great speaker for for film.
That's beautiful. I agree. I talked to him for a few minutes and I was already feeling impressed.
Oh, he's a chatterbox.
He was awesome.
Typical Los Angeles.
All right. Well, Michael, we look forward so much to meeting you in person, to screening your film. I know the industry is excited about all of this. It's a really good opportunity. Willie wants to know what you're drinking.
A beautiful Pinot Noir.
Nice.
Now, I'm excited to have you
a very smooth, full-bodied, fruitful. Oh, sorry, it's a different show.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm very excited for you to show up and come to our haunt parties and have a good time with us. But I think you're gonna be disappointed in our beverage selection because it's like a lot of Coors Light and whiskey. It's just. I don't want to say lowbrow, but
I got a bottle of wine here too.
let me just show you my mini collection on the floor there. There's boxes and boxes.
Yeah, I
Well,
was gonna
if you
say.
want to bring your own, you can. I guess. I don't know.
I was gonna say. I'm sitting
no,
here
no,
with
the
a
idea-
Battle of
the-
Wrestling 2018.
Beautiful. Considering this
Um,
movie, this show, this podcast is regarding the horns. Let me show you what my wine is of choice. Okay.
Okay.
All right. See, now we're getting into like my neck of the woods. What kind of booze is flowing? Like that's my specialty.
There you go.
Steve, this is for your. This is for your.
There we go. I've
Wait.
actually had the Exorcist wine.
Have you?
It's not bad. I have, yeah. It's not bad. I didn't see what the other one was.
And this one here is a special edition with 3D all embossed.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I haven't had that one. I had the other one before for sure.
My wife treated me at Christmas. You
See,
know,
people think like I'm a wine connoisseur. I'm just like an alcoholic. Like that's not like I can't like if you
Yeah.
give me a glass of wine and you're like, "Oh, what do you have?" I'm like, "Oh, I have hints of grapes and alcohol." Like that's what I know about wine. I don't know anything else.
I'm not a wine connoisseur at all. I'm a beer. I'm a Guinness drinker.
Yes, that's what I'm talking. So that's something, Doug. Put that on the list because I like Guinness
I heard
myself.
ya.
So we got to get some Guinness down there.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Well, I tell you.
Well, Michael, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show. Like I said, we look forward to meeting
Thank you for having me.
Can't wait to see this film. I know there's a lot of people that are gonna really enjoy this film, and yeah, we will definitely see you in a few months.
Doug, whilst you're on, the situation that happened with me recently and Johnny, it's terrifying. I'm actually going to release that footage privately to you in February.
Okay. I appreciate that. That's cool.
Yeah, it is. It's
I
going to
can't wait to
blow
see
the
it.
paranormal. It's going to
I can't.
blow the paranormal, like all these TV shows. It's literally going to blow them away because nothing I've
Wow.
seen on TV is real. This happened, and you're going to witness it.
Well, you get ready because we're going to sit back in February and I'm going to tell you some of the stories about some stuff that happened at our haunt. So I got some stories for you. You sit
Brilliant.
back with a bunch of haunters, you're going to hear all kinds of stuff.
Okay,
Oh yeah.
but I'm going to show you. But I'm not. It's not going to be one of these dark infrared evenings.
Yeah,
where, what was that
that's
noise?
video.
What was that noise? You're going to see me end up in hospital for real.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy. I can't wait to see it.
All right, Michael, you enjoy your wine, and we will see you
Guys.
soon.
See
Good
you,
night.
Mike.
Thank you for the
Thank you.
invitation. Good night, Doug. Good night, Chris. Nice to meet you guys. Steve. Bye. Ciao.
Well, another good movie.
Yeah, I'm really so like when you told me, oh, we're gonna do the indie stuff and whatever. I guess it's my ignorance. I'm so far removed from horror movies that when I heard that you're gonna do indie movies, I'm thinking like great, like some dude in his backyard with his handy cam and his cell phone is like snipping together some movies, But these are like legit films.
They are. And not only are those two, the other two are really good too. The
Don't
one-
spoil it. We gotta save them for the show. We're gonna.
Oh, here's the kicker. Haunt season, we're not even going to show anyone the trailer. All we're going to do is tell you that it takes place at a haunted attraction that everyone knows. And that's it. It is amazing.
So yeah, I mean, and I'm sure we're gonna have them on sooner than later, and we could talk about it then. I don't want to spoil things until we have them on the show. Yeah. So for all of you out there that had joined us late, hashtag indie movie because I don't think we have any hashtags in yet. Hashtag indie movie for the prize giveaway tonight. The prize is when you get your general admission and VIP tickets, you have to purchase those. or
Yep.
maybe win them in a future show, whatever. You have to have VIP or general admission tickets to the show. We are going to automatically add on 2 movie passes. So that means you and a friend will have access to all 4 movies that are being shown twice. So if you can't make the first one, you can always go to the second one. And the Q&As, you're going to be able to meet the director. Michael, who we just talked to, is the writer and director of The Haunting of Cottonwood. I keep wanting to say Collinwood. The Haunting of Cottonwood. He's going to be there. He's going to be extremely accessible as
Hmm.
well. You're going to be able to meet him, talk to him. Um, but like I said, there's the Q&A. We are giving away a 2-pack to those tonight. Hashtag any movie. And if nobody wants to win them tonight, well, then we'll just do it next week.
Yeah, yeah, it's fine. I mean, so here's the deal. We we have the general admission ticket. All right, it's $30, gets you all the classes. It gets you on the show floor. You know, you're there. You're at HauntCon. So then we have the VIP experience, right? And you know as well as I do, Steve, what we do is we just come up with a stupid number to 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 say, okay, this is going to be $195, and we just keep throwing stuff at it. I mean,
Yeah, it's kind of a pain if I'm being honest, because the more stuff you add on to this is the more stuff I have to do to make it happen. Um, yeah,
and
it's insane.
HauntCon's coming close to Fear Expo right now, and
Well, and here's the
it's
thing
a
for the
smaller
VIP,
show.
for VIP, you're feeding them again, right?
Yep. And we're
So
doing a luau.
yeah, so right then and there, that pretty
Mhm.
much pays for your ticket. It's just food wise.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
the
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 food
whole
is more than the ticket.
Yeah, so the whole food thing, this was like the conception. I think there was like 5 or 6 of us that were in on this conversation. I don't know, probably what, 3 years ago now.
Mhm.
Um, like the question that was raised that we talked about for months, or when you go to um shows, and not just like haunt shows, any shows. You go to Comic Con or whatever, anything oddity show. What are the things that kind of suck about them? What don't you like about them? And one of the unanimous things was you're always kind of like searching for food, right?
Mhm.
You might be in a town that you don't never been in before, or maybe because there's a lot of people there, the closest restaurants are always packed. Maybe you're on a time frame, maybe there's a schedule. Maybe it kind of ruins your night. You just go somewhere and eat, and then you're just like, I don't want to do anything else because I'm tired now, and then you just go back to your hotel and go to sleep. So we're hoping that this helps. This helps alleviates that kind of thing where you don't have to pull your phone out and figure out where you guys are going to get your meal at, making reservations and all this other stuff. We're trying to handle all that for you. You don't have to, you don't want to, but it's there. You can get it with your ticket, with your VIP ticket. We're going to feed you. We're going to put
Yeah.
you up. And it's also great because you're going to be eating with your friends. You're going to be eating with new friends, being able to network and talk to people. It's almost another way to like network. It's almost another way to have a dinner meeting with like-minded people in the industry, and now another industry with the indie horror stuff that we're going to be blending in together. And you got to think for all those people that are going to be attending HauntCon, all the haunters out there that because that's how we're starting out as haunters, those aren't gonna be the only people at the show. It's gonna be a little different. It's not just gonna be you showing up to Fear Expo and it's gonna be all haunters. You're gonna be showing up to HauntCon, and now there's a whole nother aspect. There's a whole nother group of like-minded people that we have an opportunity to meet, make friends with, network, the whole bit.
Yeah.
So
So if you had a
VIP is
choice,
worth it.
Steve, would you rather us release our speakers tonight or talk about the events?
Me personally, I'm always about the event. I'm always about the fun and the party.
Mhm.
But I think tonight, I think more people might be interested in maybe not all the speakers, but the variety of
Right.
speakers, a variety of classes. Um, it's something crazy that I realized with HauntCon because when you go to like Transworld or MHC or any other shows, comic book shows, we have here in Cleveland they do this Wizard Con thing. I know in Pittsburgh there's still City Con. You always kind of see the same people teaching the same thing. When Fear Expo happened, it was different people
Yep.
teaching some of the same things and some new things. And I realized the first time that we did this, I don't think it matters so much as who's teaching it because the talent pool is so large now that there's just
Amazing.
so many talented people that when they get up there and they start talking, whether you know who they are or not, you're just kind of like, oh, really? This is interesting. This is a new way to do things. This is awesome. I never knew you could do this. So I think now we've kind of like changed people's mind and how they look at us, where they're not so much looking at the speaker as much as they're looking at the class, the
Exactly.
content of the class, and what is being taught. Because it's going to be a good class, no matter what it is. It's a matter of now of trying to find what fits into your needs and into your wants. So I think tonight would be a good night to talk about the variety and the types of classes that we're going to be offering.
So tonight, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to go into detail on any of the speakers, no matter who they are, what their background is. I'm going to say the speaker and I'm going to say the class, and I'm going to move to the next one. All right.
Okay.
So I want you to, as I'm saying these different ones, and anyone else who's on, if one sticks out to you, at the end of this, we'll talk about that. Okay.
Yeah, let's go for it.
All
There's
right.
a
Here
lot.
we go.
49.
So Friday, 10 a.m., Michael Murray is doing expanding your income using an existing space. 11 o'clock, Brian Brandett, operations and cast retention. 12 o'clock, Katie Brittle, marketing strategies for haunted attractions using AI. Alan Ostrander at 1 o'clock, tailor your production to target your market. Why killer clowns and chainsaws don't work in China. Then we have a break at 2 o'clock for the show floor opening. 3 o'clock, Louis Vanderhulst, becoming your character. 4 o'clock, Skull Asylum is bringing in one of their professors to teach Out of the Kit MUFX. That is the first day, which is Friday, in Classroom 1. Classroom 2, 10 o'clock, Matthew Gaudette, Gorgeous Monsters. 11 o'clock, Emily Bloom, camera ready makeup. 12 o'clock, Javier Mayoy, the art of independent film editing. 1 o'clock, Shannon Charmley, navigating reproduction and advertising in today's landscape, overcoming the challenges with creative and strategy. And then at 3 o'clock, the first indie film will be played in that room, which is room 2, and that's Haunt Season, and it's it's going to be a good film. On Friday in room 3, classroom 3. So we have 3 classrooms going all day long, Steve. 10 o'clock, Zach and Jim, Zach Go and Jim. I never can say Jim's last name right. I'm hoping I'm not going to kill it. Candelera is going to do an animatronics made easy, animations made easy. Amy Cole from lore to horror, harnessing fear in immersive haunts. So this last room is a lot of immersive experience ones. Rich Kumo and Sharon Rio is going to do an FAUX painting for your haunt, rust, sludge, and disgust. 1 o'clock, Scott Swanson Practical and Sustainable Applications for Immersive Theater. 3 o'clock, the Ashley Levy. She's going to do How to Tell a Character Story Aesthetically. 4 o'clock, Michael Burnett, creating a foam stunt prop. That's Friday. That's the first
It's a
day.
big one.
Yeah. Saturday starts at 8 a.m. Christine Campbell, Believe in Yourself, Overcoming Imposter Syndrome and Haunting. 9 o'clock, Leonard Pickle. And he's got a couple classes, and he's going to let us know which one that will be at 9 o'clock. Right behind Leonard is Michael Green, Introduction to Airbrushing. Behind Michael Green at 11 is Katie Brittle. And that one is going to be integrating AI to the haunted attractions. Integrating AI to your haunted attraction. 12 o'clock is going to be a surprise speaker. We have not announced that one. 1 o'clock will be Kyle Thomas and Jordu Shell, creature suits, creature designs, and acting techniques. That's the Kyle Thomas from Midnight Studios. Skull Asylum, supersonic makeup for the big night. Stacey Hawkins, dramatic haunt characters, creation and costuming. And then at 4 o'clock, Rich Kumo and Sharon Rio is coming back with grime, mold, and water damage for FUX painting. In the indie track, I mean, that was just one room, Steve, for Saturday. I just named off. And we're going to have all these on the website. In the indie room, we have Kimberly Stewart, which is her class is Being Weird and Making Money in the film industry. And then at 9 a.m., we have Kill Giggles, which is our indie film premiere. Haseen Betran, Deliverables, The Dark Side of Distributing an Indie Film. I'm sorry, Jason Butterin. And he's also the director of the Kill Giggles film. So that's going to be kind of cool. He's going to come do a class right after his movie. And then we have the movie we just saw the trailer for, The Haunting of Cottonwood, that'll start at 12. And then Sean Seeger is going to do practical effects for indie films. And then at 3 o'clock is going to be I Possessed by Carl Remy. In room 3, the immersive track, you have Michael Bennett, who's going to do applied paint and remove foam rubber prosthetics. We have still waiting for the final thing on this 9 o'clock, so I'm not going to announce that one yet. 10 o'clock, we have Caitlin King and Sean Seeger, production and design at the art director film. 11 is Ashley Levy. She's coming back to do how to do your makeup and character with prosthetics. At 12 o'clock, we have a panel discussion, Nowhere to Hide, performing as a line and roaming character. Emma Olivia is doing Haunted to Haunting, Storytelling and Haunts and Other Scary Things. At 2 o'clock, we have 2 film actresses, Kelsey Livingsgood, also known as Mischief, and Angel Bradford, Introduction to Indie Film Acting. And then at 3 o'clock and at 4 o'clock, Omar Shadel and Malene Maldez, I know I'm killing both of them. They are doing prosthetic transfers and eye prosthetics. I've never even seen those type of prosthetics. These are film prosthetic classes for our haunts. I mean,
Right.
That is crazy. That is Saturday, Steve. Sunday's a shorter day, so it'll go pretty quick. 8 a.m., Kenneth Leary, Using Words to Get Scares. 9 o'clock is Christine Campbell, Fear for All Budgets, Building Revenue. 10 o'clock is Jonathan Kickman, Essential Scare Acting and Safety Training. Leonard Pickle's coming on at 11 with another one. I'm not sure what's going on with that one. I have to find out the name. In room 2, we have Kurt Kirschner, Traveling Spook Show. 9 o'clock, I'm going to hold off on announcing that one just because we're still waiting for a contract, but it's a good one. 10 o'clock is Michael Green, Advancing Airbrush. And then 11 o'clock, we have Anara Skull Asylum, MUFX for independent film. Room 3, we have 8 a.m. Tammy Kane. You can be a vendor too. So we actually have a vendor class this year, and maybe 2 of them. 9 o'clock is Alan Ostrander. Hey, I'm not just making this up. Overcoming the fear of prosthetics. Emma Olivia and Amy Cole is going to be doing Beyond Jump Scares, a bloodbath of story-driven haunts. And then 11 is Patrick McBride bringing scenic painting to life. That was the list.
So I know for me personally, obviously bringing the indie stuff in there is going to be really, really cool for a lot of people. Even if it's not practical for your attraction, just being able to see how they do things and stuff, a little behind the scenes of what's going on, that's still pretty cool. I'm excited about the actor classes. Me being an actor coming from that realm, I'm always excited to hear about actor classes. I know every year, Doug, you call me, hey, you're gonna teach a class this year. You're gonna teach. Maybe one day, maybe one day I will. Um, but yeah, it's always exciting to see new and fresh people that bring their take on their craft to
Yeah.
come up and be like, this is what I do, and this is what works for me, and this is what works for our attraction. And it's important for any of you who have never been to any of these shows to attend some of these classes and go in with an open mind. Some of the stuff that you're going to learn here is not going to be practical for you. It's just not. But I guarantee you, like Doug said earlier, you're going to walk away with something. Even if you attend one class, you go there for an hour, I guarantee you will learn at least one thing. I promise you that. And that one thing that you're going to learn is going to pay off in dividends for you. It always does. It always does. There's people that for years, even before Fear Expo, for years that would attend the same classes over and over and over again just because every time they go, they learn something new. And it's a great opportunity, especially because it's free. There's so many of them. But keep in mind that depending on how many people come down, now this is a smaller show than Fear Expo. That means smaller spaces. Keep in mind that these classes will probably fill up. So there is a sign up for them if I know
Nope.
correctly.
So
There's no
we
sign up.
actually made sure the classes were big enough. We can hold 100 people per class.
So there you go, 100 people. So that means that when you guys go, you got to show up, get there early, get yourself a seat. Now, us being us and what we do, if 150 people show up to a class, we're going to make sure 150 people
We'll
take
get
that
you.
class. We'll figure it out somehow. But it's just important to, schedule yourself wisely. Get to the classes that you want to get to, things like that. Also, I'm glad to see an animatronics class on that list.
Me too.
Um, we haven't had an animatronic class, if I'm not mistaken, with Fear Expo and stuff. I don't think we have. Um, and that's important. It's important because these machines, and that's exactly what they are. If you don't know how to run them, there's a lot of nuances and there's a lot of tricks to the trades with animatronics. I used to work for an animatronic company, and I still don't know everything about them. So having experts in the field, uh, being there and expending their knowledge, their and you got to understand, this is what I love about haunters that teach classes. They are so good at teaching these classes because they've made a million mistakes.
Yeah.
They, they went out there and they tried their hardest and they failed so many times and they just got back up and just started hammering away at it and until they figured out what worked. And these people are coming up and expending their knowledge to you so you don't have to do that. You don't have to go through the aggravation and haunting is aggravating enough. We all know that. They're trying to alleviate some of that for you. They're trying to expel some of their experience so you don't have to go through what they had to go through. And it's and it's free. You're getting this for free. So it's very, very important to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I think the only classes that do have a cost to them are going to be, I know the two Make It Take It classes from Michael Burnett. You always got to pay for materials. And Skull Asylum normally charges $300 to $400 for their classes. We got them to come down to $50 for a class. These are professors. I mean, these are actually, they do these classes for people for college credits. So some of the classes they're bringing in here are amazing. I'm telling you, and I mean, I don't think the class I'm the most excited about. I'm excited about a lot of them because there's some really good film classes, but the opportunity, I mean, just to be able to sit in a class, and I got to make sure that I can get to this class. In other words, I need to make sure I don't have anything else going on because Kyle Thomas from Midnight Studios and Jordu Shell, I mean, that's going to be insane. That class will overfill.
And I may be speaking out of turn here, so don't take my word for gold. But I don't think Kyle has taught a class in quite some time.
I don't think so either. And to
And
bring Jordu in with him, I
well,
mean,
and it's not for anything but the pure fact that I think he's just so busy.
yes,
He's busy with his company with Midnight Studios. Obviously, um, an extremely popular and well crafted prop company. Um, but he has a family. He
yeah,
just had a kid last year. Well, I guess this year it would be
yeah, yeah,
we haven't
exactly.
crossed into it, and for him to come out and teach a class again, and it's not just, hey, you should go and do this because it's good information. It's it's good to give these people the credit that they're due. With all
If
these people teaching these classes.
if you're a sculptor or you're a creature maker, or if you ever want to be one, or you just want to sit back and listen to the two of the masters, that is the class you need to make sure. I mean, there's so many. I mean, Michael Burnett. I mean, come on, Michael Green. I mean, the list goes on and on. And I am so I'm jealous of HauntCon versus Fear Expo because of the classes we have here.
Well, I mean, like I was saying earlier, we've gotten to a point in this industry where I think the talent pool has been it's so vast.
Mhm.
There's a lot of just incredibly talented people in all art forms, whether if it's makeup or acting or animatronics. Despite what people think, that animatronic stuff is an art form, and
It is.
there's there's the marketing, the class on Friday on retaining your employees. That is so pertinent to what's going on in our industry right now. It's there's a lot that's to be offered, but these people that don't get a chance to see them at other shows because again the talent pool is so large now that it's hard for them to get a platform or whatever, and it's just so great to be able to showcase these incredibly talented people, um and
For
put
free.
them up on that pedestal that they deserve to be on, not only for themselves but for the people attending, for the
Yeah.
people to learn. And 5 years from now when they take what they learn uh from HauntCon and Fear Expo, and they're going to turn it into something even better, right? And then 5 years from that, somebody else is going to take their class and turn it into something better. And it's an incredible thing, I think.
I totally agree. And the fact that we are holding true to Leonard's dream with HauntCon and what he said, I mean, I'm going to stay with it forever is education should always be free. And
Yep.
so
And I
as long
fought
as
you
HauntCon,
from day one. Day one. Charge them. Charge everybody that walks through those doors to go to class.
no,
I still say that to you
no,
all the
no,
time. Charge everybody that
education's
comes, and
always going to be free.
you will not budge. I will give you that. You will not budge. I'm the bad guy in this situation. So just so everybody knows out there, I from the get-go to right now, I've always been the guy that says, "Hey, charge people to take these classes. Charge 'em. You don't have to charge them a lot. Charge them $10, but it's $10. You
Yeah.
have them come to these classes, and I've been shot down every single time.
You want to hear the crazy thing, Steve? Is not only do we offer the free education, from what I hear, we pay our instructors better than any other show around. So we're not taking advantage of the instructors. I mean, we're taking care of them when they come to do a class.
Mhm.
So it's just it's passion. We have that passion for our industry to educate it.
And you know what? Look, at the end of the day, and you guys know me out there. I'm a partier. I love hanging out with my friends. I love having a good time. I love seeing other people have a good time. That's kind of been my passion with this project is to make sure everybody's having a good time. And that includes these classes. That includes the vendors. Making sure that their load in and load out are going flawless. I want
Mhm.
everybody to have a good time, and I work really, really hard to make sure that happens. So I will say this: at the end of the day, Hong Kong's gonna be great. The indie horror show is gonna be great. The classes are gonna be great. The parties are gonna be great. But at the end of the day, you're hanging out with your friends in
Yeah.
Florida, in Daytona, just hanging out. I
Can't be
mean,
better than that.
like we get to go to Florida and hang out in Daytona Beach and just chill out and have a good time and just be with our friends no matter
I
what.
had
Like,
I heard a challenge. They said, well, those haunters don't have anything on the bikers coming the following week. So we'll just have to see how us haunters can do as far as kind of revving up
I would
Daytona.
say probably not. The
No,
bikers probably have us by
they
a
got us beat for the
lot.
first year.
Yeah, they probably got us by a lot. But I mean, we can. But here's the thing too: is I think over the years as haunters, we've learned to party respectfully.
Yeah.
I think
Well, we
that's
better
some.
hope so.
Yeah, I really do believe that. I've had the privilege of going to haunts all across this country and partying with a lot of people. And whether, you know, in Chicago, there's a lot of great haunts up there. Sometimes at one haunt, they have the space and you just hang out there. Another times afterwards, everybody goes to a bar or, whatever. No matter the scene, no matter the circumstance, I always feel like haunters are respectful to the place that they're in. They're respectful to one another. They take care of one another, which I think that has when you look at like I'm a biker. I have a Harley. I ride my Harley all over the place.
Me too.
Um, the culture's different, and I think it's one of the shining stars with the haunt industry is that even though we party like animals and we do get out of hand every now and again, I think by and large we're very respectful to where we're at and the people that we're partying with, which is really really cool. So
We're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be a lot of fun there at the Hilton. It'll be the first show that we've done that's in a hotel versus a convention center. So,
yeah, so smaller show, smaller venue. Um, it's Hong Kong's still kind of an experiment for us.
mhm,
Um, we're testing the waters. We're adding the indie horror show, which I think is a good move. Um, I think a lot of people think it's a good move, and it's just one of those things where we hope for the best outcome, and I think it will. I think we're gonna have especially because we have our experience with Fear Expo now, and I don't want to say Fear Expo is a well-oiled machine because it's not. it's it's far from it, but we're getting closer every year to
yeah,
making it run a little bit better, and we're learning a lot. And now we're not coming into HauntCon as blindly as like we kind of did with Fear
yeah,
Expo, and
right.
so we
No,
have a we
where
yeah
we
we
where we almost fell over at the end of the 3 days and said, "Man, we made it."
yeah, that was rough. But yeah, and it's so we get to bring that to the table, and things are gonna run, I think, a lot better. It's always a learning curve for us too,
Yeah.
as well. That's what you
Well,
need.
that's
We need to have somebody come in and teach a class how how to run trade shows, how to run conventions, and we
well,
can
I want
sit there and
and we can go learn it,
take,
yeah.
yeah, we can take notes.
I thought about doing a class for vendors on how to actually vend at a trade show. because I've gone to some shows where they sit on their phone and they wonder why they're having a bad experience.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
That's a
And
whole nother story.
we poke fun at ourselves with trade show stuff, but honestly, 99.9% of the people that have been to our shows have been ecstatic about our shows.
I guess
No.
Willie wants to be the open bar sponsor. We'll have to talk to Willie and see, I mean, if he's
Yep, that's
interested,
scary. Yeah,
if
yep,
he,
that's scary.
yep,
He's gonna
that's scary,
sponsor
is
the
going
open
to
bar. Is
be
that what I heard?
the open bar sponsor. Is
Challenge
that what he's
accepted.
saying?
Challenge accepted. Um, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what else there is to say.
Well, let's do this. Let's go ahead and let's see if we got enough
I
hashtags
think
to
we
give
have
it away.
two. I think we have two hashtags. We may have to push that in the next week.
All right. Well, I'm okay with that. We're keep the ones from this week. We're rolling to next week, and yeah, I mean, next week's show, I think we need to get maybe Willie on here to talk a little bit about the luau. And I have two vendors that are going to come on next week. So, yeah, I think the road to HauntCon has started, and we can start really promoting some of the vendors and some of the instructors moving forward.
You still haven't sent me my list of where I need to be for HauntCon, all the parties
I
and
know,
stuff. Yeah,
I know,
if I
I
remember
know.
correctly, there's at least 4 parties that I have to do, but I know that I have other responsibilities in that, but like you've I and people know with Fear Expo, I'm involved with Fear Expo. I do a lot of stuff with
Yep.
Fear Expo. You have left me completely in the dark
We told you
on
you have a room.
yeah, that's all I've been told. Like I've been told 2 things. There's 4 parties that you're hosting. No, I'm sorry, 3 things. There's 4 parties that you're hosting. You have a room and you have to make announcements for the vendor awards. Like that's the only thing I was told and I was just like, "Okay, here I come."
Yeah, we know better than to stress Steve out. We will wait till the day of the show and then say, "Okay, Steve, here you go. Here's your list."
But here that's the thing is like
I'm
if
just
you
kidding.
but no, like I kind of thrive in that kind of situation.
Mhm.
Like
You
you
do.
kind of just hey, things are on fire, and I'm just kind of like okay, just walking around with a beer in my hand. All right, let's go handle this. Um, oh, and hashtag Bus One Ultimate Haunt Tour. I will be
There you
hosting
go.
that. It's official. I will be on Bus One. So all of you out there that are going on the haunt tour, which is all of you, I know it is. Um, if you want to be on the fun bus, the party bus, the awesome bus, Bus One, make sure when you sign up, you tell them you want to be on Bus One. If you don't do it soon, you may not get on Bus One. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. I can't put more seats on the bus. It's just the way it
We
is.
we are going to Sir Henry's, and on the drive there, we are going to play a film that was produced at Sir Henry's called Pumpkin Man.
Nice.
So it's
And
gonna be pretty cool.
and you guys know how these haunt tours go. There's gonna be a lot of fun. There's gonna be a lot of shenanigans. A lot of we leave things on the bus and don't tell Doug about it so Steve doesn't get fired. Um, that kind of stuff. That's yeah. So, anyways, yeah, it was a good show. You want to do a shout out to our sponsors?
Well, always. VFX, huge sponsor of the show, huge sponsor of the upcoming HauntCon. I just got a ton of the name tags from. Um, I'm having one of those days because I've had so many names today. Um, wait, or shoot, what is going on here? Why am I forgetting different names today?
Well, you remember that. I want to do a shout out to Patrick Voss and
Okay,
Doug Schaefer because I do believe they dropped a new shirt today that Doug Schaefer designed. I believe that's what I saw. So for those of you that are interested, head on over to VFX and get yourself uh their new shirts because Doug Schaefer may suck, okay? Hashtag Doug sucks. But he's an incredible artist, he's an incredible sculptor, and he's a mad scientist, as Patrick has said many, many times. Um, so go over there and show VFX some love because they 100% deserve it. Um, we will move over to Scython. Scython's a show sponsor. They've been a show sponsor for quite some time. Trying to make a conscious effort because none of our sponsors actually asked us to plug them. Not once. They're just like, "Hey, we'll help you out." But I do believe in them and I do believe in the products that they have, and I'm trying to make a more conscious effort to shout them out and give them some love. So head on over to Scython for all of your management needs. Scython has a great software program that can help you with scheduling and HR stuff. And I don't know, he came on the show and he explained so much stuff to me, and it was like went right over my head. I do believe, don't quote me, but I do believe that they're still offering the 30-day trial. Um, so if you're
Yeah, I
doing
don't
Christmas
know.
haunts, if you're doing Christmas haunts, now's a good time to hop on that. And if it's free, just figure out if it works for you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It is what it is. Things aren't always meant for everybody. That's just how the world works. So, just hop over and do a 30-day risk-free trial and see if it works for you. If it works for you, get it and put it into your attraction, and that's really one less thing you got to worry about. Who
Yeah,
else we
and
got?
then what?
Purgatory props.
Yep, that's what I was just gonna say. They
There you
sent
go.
us all the lanterns, so we have all the lanterns for both
Lanterns or lanyards? I can't understand what you're
lanyards,
trying to. Lanyards.
lanyards,
There you go.
all of them
They send
for
us a bunch of lanterns. That'd be awesome.
no lanyards for Fear Expo and HauntCon. So they are the lanyard sponsor for both shows, and then the Halloween Shirt Company sponsored HauntCon.
Yeah.
And I gotta throw a plug in there real quick because we had the Halloween Shirt Company this year for the first time. We had a brand new store, and they sent us about $4,000 worth of shirts. They have a program where you can pay for it once it sells. If anything doesn't sell, you send it back to them, depending on the size of your haunt. And we made some good money, and they made some good money. So very excited about working with them. We're definitely having them back again next year. That's the
Halloween
Halloween
Shirt
Shirt
Company
Company.
knows what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Halloween Shirt Company. They know what they're doing out there. They always have cool stuff, and what's really cool, um, they're always super open and like willing to just like help people out. You just kind of walk up there and be like, "Hey, I have a haunt. I'm a vendor, and I want to make shirts for my company. Whatever, it doesn't matter." And you
Mhm.
just kind of give them like an idea what you want to do, and they're just like, "Boom, boom, 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 boom. We got this. We're gonna take care of you. Don't worry about it." Uh, they work with you. They're reasonably priced. They're on time
Mhm.
with
Yeah.
stuff, which is huge. Um,
Very quick. Very
yeah.
quick turnaround.
So yeah, so head on over to them, show them some love. Halloween Shirt Company, Scython, Purgatory Props, VFX. Um, man, we're gonna have to start putting a cap on our
Right, and we're gonna
sponsors.
have to.
Too
And we do
much.
have more sponsors signing up every day, so pretty excited about some of the new sponsors coming in, and we're gonna list up here for you too, Steve.
And
Some
then
kind of
and then
ticket.
I went to the HauntCon webpage today, and I was just kind of looking through it, and I scrolled all the way to the bottom, and apparently it must be Thursday. My show is now a sponsor of HauntCon too. I didn't know
You-
that. Considering it, I may run the show, but don't get it twisted. This is a product of Fear Expo and HauntCon. They're the ones who really turn the wheels for their show. You just are unfortunate enough to have to see me every Thursday to talk about it.
and yep, that's scary. I mean, we do a promo with them where we both sponsor each other's show as well. So
Mhm.
I definitely got to mention Yep, that's scary. That's I know they're on a little break. I don't know, how do they get a break and we don't? I don't understand that. The boss here must, just be a bah humbug or something.
Because Willie knows when his cup is full. I don't think you've understood that yet. I don't think you understand what that means. Uh no, but yeah, Willie's been with us for a long time too. He's
Long
been with
time.
us behind the scenes
Mhm.
for a lot of things. And he's calmed down a lot, which I don't know if he's upped his medication or what's going on, but he
He's
used to be
not on
bouncing off the wall.
medication, man.
Yeah,
Willie is just the type of person that puts 110% into everything, and
he's
I
like the
love I
Kool-Aid
love
man, just busting through walls, getting things done. I mean, that's just
Yeah, he's
he's a really
amazing.
cool guy.
Yeah.
And he'll be at Hong Kong. You guys will get to see him.
Yeah, he's actually
So,
working on the luau right now.
yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's a good time. I don't know. Are we
What's
doing a
up,
show
Adam?
down there? Do we plan on doing a show down
We
there
do.
on
We're
Thursday?
definitely gonna have your guys' show, and I think, yep, that Scary is gonna be doing a show, and maybe one or two other companies are talking about doing a show as well from down there. I mean, how many chance can here's the deal. If you're a podcaster, if you do a horror show or whatever the case may be, how many times can you say that you're broadcasting from Daytona Beach, Florida?
I think I'm gonna try to sit
You
in
gotta have
on
a background.
Willie's. I
You're gonna
well, I
what?
think I think I'm gonna try to sit in on Willie's show because I just think if him and I were on a show on across the table from one another, it would be absolute pandemonium. Uh,
We could do like a dividing line on one side, yep, that's Scary, the other side, it must be Thursday,
yeah,
and
do
have you
a
guys both
crossover show.
yeah, at the same time.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it'll be fun. And yeah, he's Willie.
I know.
um yeah, it'll be a good time. It'll be a good time across the board. Anyways, we're
Yeah,
just rambling on. I think we're
we
having too
are,
much
we
fun.
are. I think we're both tired and ready to go to sleep because tomorrow's a busy day.
Yep. It always
We are
is.
releasing so much on HauntCon. Keep an eye out, get your tickets. We are only gonna sell 300 VIPs. That's it. I've already put the limit. We've got already, I think, 60 some of them sold. So, yeah, 300. You got 240 left, probably somewhere in that amount. Right now, the hotel block is half filled already. So, I mean, this show is going quick. If you're a vendor and you want to get on show floor, we have 15 spots left. So, all this information is on the HauntCon website. And within the next couple of days, all of the instructors and all the events will be updated and it's going to be full bowl. Let's finish this off. And I would like to have everything booked before the first day in February. So we just show up and we know everything.
Well, I mean, get your Christmas money, folks, and get there. Get on the website. Ultimate Haunt Tour, HauntCon, the whole bit. Get it done. Don't forget. Make sure when you go to the HauntCon page, you guys read everything because there's different packages. There's a lot of different packages. There's a lot of things that you can mix and match. This isn't
Yeah.
like there isn't like, oh, you have to get this package or this package. There's a lot of things you can take this or leave that. This is like it's like car insurance. You can just kind of choose the coverage you want. You know, so yeah, if you want to check out, we've been talking about these indie movies. If you want to go check out the indies movies, make sure you get that indie pass. If you want to attend some of these parties, make sure you read into that. There's stipulations to these parties to get into them. Your safest bet though is to get the VIP package, get the indie movie package, go to the Ultimate Haunt Tour, get yourself a ticket. What is that? $130 was Ultimate Haunt?
For the $130 for the Ultimate Hunt Tour package.
Yeah, so you get to see a bunch of great haunts. Um, there's a lot of cool stuff. We talked about that. We're gonna talk about more about the Ultimate Hunt Tour because I know that's what a lot of people are excited about. Anyways, head on over, get that stuff done. I'm tired.
I am too. Let's call it a night.
Hopefully Tame will be back shortly. So I'll say it for her. Stay spooky, everyone.
And there you go. All right, Steve, we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
All right, take care, everyone.